Okay, so if you're going on holiday this summer, then you're probably going to be spending money in a foreign currency. And without the right bank account or card, it's likely you'll end up paying a lot of money in foreign exchange fees. But it doesn't have to be that way. In this video, I'll share with you some great travel cards in the UK so you don't have to pay a penalty for just going on holiday. I'll also share some really important travel money tips because even with the best travel cards, you can still be taken advantage of. When you're choosing your travel card, there's just a couple of prerequisites to consider. There should be absolutely no fixed fees on foreign transactions or ATM withdrawals and a fair exchange rate. Typically, a good travel card will use Visa or MasterCard's rates, which are more or less the same as the real exchange rate. Basically the one you'll see on Monito.com. But some banks are sneaky and use their own exchange rates so they can profit from your transactions. Fortunately, these days they have to disclose this, so if you want to get into the weeds, you can just check the terms and conditions of an account or card. For example, this is TSB, who say they use their own standard exchange rate. That exchange rate, along with their fixed fees, will mean if you spent €1,000 on holiday, you would incur fees of over 25 quid, and it would cost you £886. And just for the sake of comparison, if you were to use one of the travel cards I'll share with you now, €1,000 would cost you around £860. That's a saving of £26 by essentially using a different piece of plastic. Unfortunately, some people are still not aware of this and banks are still using it as an opportunity to profit. Not all of them though. Chase UK and Starling, these are their cards, are two banks that use MasterCard's FX rates and charge no fixed fees on international transactions, and they just have a couple of differences. Chase UK is limited to £1,500 per month in foreign ATM withdrawals, while Starling allows £300 per day. On the other hand, Chase UK will give you 1% cashback on foreign transactions capped at £15 per month. So you need to decide when choosing one or the other whether you want greater ATM withdrawals or cashback. Opening an account is also super easy with either provider. They'll just perform a soft credit check and you could potentially have an account open in just a few hours. And these don't have to be your main bank account. There's nothing stopping you from simply transferring money into a Starling or Chase account to spend while you're abroad and then just transfer it back to your main account when you return. Now, even if you were to choose Starling or Chase or any similar offering, you still need to watch out for something known as dynamic currency conversion. It sounds technical, but it's basically just another way for a merchant or ATM provider to charge you a fee for exchanging currencies. When you go to withdraw or spend money abroad, you'll most likely be asked whether you want to pay in the local currency or your currency. The key here is to make sure you choose the local one. This means your bank or card provider will take care of the currency exchange, which is exactly what you want because you've chosen to use a specific card for travel. These two credit cards in the UK have been amongst the best for travel for a long time. The Halifax credit card, which I have, and the Barclaycard Rewards credit card, which my wife has, charge no fixed fees on foreign transactions and use MasterCard and Visa's exchange rates. And right now with this card from Halifax, you'll get £20 for just making a purchase within 90 days of getting it. So in theory, you could sign up, swipe, and then just vanish into thin air. The rewards card from Barclays gives you 0.25% cashback on everyday spending, and you'll also get a 5-month free subscription to an Apple service of your choice like Apple TV and music. Don't let the cashback sway you too much. You'd need to spend £400 just to make £1, and to get £20 like Halifax are offering, you'd need to spend £8,000. If you're a stubborn individual that perhaps doesn't want to open another bank account or get a new debit card, then there is an option for you. Currensea. This is a travel card that you link to your main bank account, and it's kind of like an intermediary or buffer between your bank and the merchant you're spending money with. It works by setting up a direct debit, so when you spend money with this Currensea card, it then debits the transaction amount from the bank account that you link to it. And once that happens, Currensea then handles any foreign exchange using either the real mid-market rate or MasterCard's exchange rates. It's available for anyone with an account with one of these banks, and that includes HSBC, Barclays, and our good friends TSB. Their free plan will give you £500 of fee-free ATM withdrawals per month and charge you a 0.5% transaction fee for each international transaction. And this is a great solution for anyone that doesn't want to open a new bank account or go through the process of moving money to an alternative one with better fees and rates. Now, if you do want to sign up with Currensea or any of the providers I've spoken about in this video, then please consider using the links in the description box below. Those are affiliate links, so by using them, you'll be supporting myself and the channel. If you want to get your hands on foreign cash, the best way is to withdraw money from an ATM once you've actually arrived at your destination, ideally at a bank, because not always, but they usually don't charge fees for withdrawing money. So if you're using one of the cards I've mentioned, then that'll be the best way to get foreign notes. But let's say you need some cash before you travel, or you've left things to the last minute and you aren't able to wait for a physical card to arrive. Well, unfortunately, you will have to stomach paying a little extra in fees, as most bureaux de change offer poor exchange rates and also charge fixed fees and sometimes delivery fees. These also may increase depending on how soon or how quickly you need the money. If you have no other choice though, then providers like Change Group, who I've linked below, Marks & Spencer and Travel FX do have some of the better rates that I've come across. And one final thing on foreign cash, please promise me you'll avoid exchanging currencies at airports, because they are there purely to profit and take advantage of people. Wise and Revolut are multi-currency cards and accounts that you can top up with cash before you travel and either exchange it yourself to the currency of your choice or let them take care of the exchange at the point of sale. A big advantage of using these cards is that you can exchange ahead of time and lock in a specific rate. This means you won't be subject to any currency fluctuations, which can actually be quite costly. For example, when I was in Switzerland last year, it was around the time Liz Truss announced her mini budget that was full of tax cuts. Well, that tanked the British pound, and I ended up losing a lot of money thanks to how weak it was against the Swiss franc. These prepaid cards can help you avoid that, and when you do go to exchange with either Wise or Revolut, you'll receive the real mid-market exchange rate and just pay a very small fee. This usually starts at around 0.4% and can go up to 2% depending on how exotic the currency is. I would say Revolut is marginally better because between Monday and Friday, you'll get £1,000 of fee-free currency exchange. The only downside with Revolut is that during the weekend, if you exchange currencies, then you will still incur a small fee. Best thing to do to avoid this though is just exchange ahead of time during the week. All of the cards I've shared with you in this video are good options. They have their pros and very few cons. The most convenient is the Currensea card because it takes only a few minutes to set up and you just have to wait a couple of days for the card to arrive. And that's important to remember. If you are going away soon, don't leave it to the last minute to get your travel card sorted because you need to factor in postage. Of course, you can get a virtual card and add it to your Apple or Google Pay, but you won't be able to use it to withdraw cash, and some merchants abroad don't offer contactless payments.